Strength and conditioning absolutely positively saved my life. I would not be here today without strength and conditioning, and here's how. So we're going to start on a little light-hearted side of this story so that you guys can have a little bit of build-up before we get to the crap of the story. So the year's 2010. Absolute hell of a year. I live in small town Wyoming. I'm all-state on all my sports teams, and I get introduced for the first time for my very first shoulder surgery, pain medication. I want you to think back to these times because this is the wild west of the opiate epidemic. You could get whatever you want, whenever you wanted it, at the drop of a hat. You just had to ask. No regulations, no inter-doctor network, so you could have 7 doctors doing the same thing, getting you whatever you wanted. So fast forwarding from there, I get absolutely hooked on pain medications for my first surgery, and it lasts all the way up through high school, into college, and actually affected my college football career as well. By the time I get into college, it has taken a grip on my life, ruined all relationships that I've had, and really crippled me from the inside out. Meanwhile, on the outside, I'm a 4.0 student, I'm a team captain, I'm an all-conference athlete, but absolutely just holding on by a few threads. Fast forwarding through, it all came to a head. I wasn't just doing pain pills, I was on heroin, I was on the worst things you can think of, and it all came to a head. I checked myself into a hospital. I was withdrawing off of opiates and heroin, and guess who shows up? My head coach of my college football team. You find me a college football team in the nation that you're dealing with your personal issues, your addictions, your bad things in your life, and your head coach, who's a head coach to almost 200 other athletes, comes to the hospital and stays with you for hours while you're withdrawing off the worst drugs this world has to offer. I'll wait, because it's not happening. Fast forwarding again, I continue my all-conference season, and I am sober for the first time in over 7 years. Time flies when you're having fun. And now, fast forwarding to today, I am over 7 years completely sober from that day. And you know what the only constant in my life was? That constant was physical exertion, training, and strength and conditioning. Throughout my addiction, even when I wanted to go get loaded, when I wanted to go get messed up, I had to train. I didn't know what it was at the time, but now I know it was a higher calling, that I knew that there was something else and something more in this life that I was destined for. No matter how low the lows got, I always had something to come back to, and that was training. And now, today, I know what that calling from God was telling me. Because now I get to affect the lives of so many young athletes, let them learn from my mistakes, and teach them the valuable things that addiction taught me. So no matter how bad your addiction is, the highs or the lows, you always need to come back to something.